They kidnapped my kids. The HOA, those self-appointed suburban overlords, had the audacity to snatch my children, claiming I'd violated their sacred community guidelines. Their reasoning, they thought I'd illegally bought a home in their 55-plus community. Except I didn't. My lawyer proved my property was outside their jurisdiction, but they didn't realize who they were dealing with. I'm not just any homeowner, I'm a federal judge, and they just made the biggest legal mistake of their miserable lives. If an HOA took your family, how far would you go? Buckle up, because this story of revenge is a wild ride. It started like any other morning, coffee brewing, toast in the air, my kids, Alex and Sophie, buzzing about their soccer tournament. I was sifting through case notes for a federal court session when another HOA notice slid through my mail slot. I sighed, expecting another petty gripe about lawn length or fence paint. But this letter stopped me cold. Final warning. You are in violation of HOA residency requirements. Immediate eviction required. All unauthorized minors must be removed within 24 hours. Unauthorized minors, my kids, my pulse spiked. My colonial-style home sat just outside their community lines. I'd confirmed it with my lawyer during closing, complete with county zoning maps. Yet here they were, claiming I'd broken their age restriction rule. I called my attorney, Elliot. We have a problem. I said, reading him the letter. He groaned. Your house isn't under their jurisdiction. It's a scare tactic. I'll send a cease and desist today. That should have ended it. But I underestimated how far these power-hungry bureaucrats would go. The next day, I came home to silence. No laughter, no video game hum, no clatter of dishes, just nothing. Panic clawed at me. Alex, Sophie, I shouted, racing through the house. Their backpacks sat untouched by the door, sneakers neatly lined up. My calls to their phones went to voicemail. I dialed friends' parents. No, one had seen them. Hands shaking, I called 911. My children are missing. I told the dispatcher, my voice barely steady. The next 2 hours were chaos, police swarming, questions flying. Any enemies? As a federal judge, I had plenty, but none had ever targeted my kids. Then an officer found another HOA letter taped to my door. As your unauthorized tenants have failed to vacate, the HOA has taken steps to ensure compliance. Your children are in a safe location until this matter is resolved. My vision went red. I'd seen cartels, traffickers, corrupt officials in my courtroom, but an HOA kidnapping kids. This was insanity. The officers were stunned. Did your HOA just admit to taking your kids? One asked. I nodded, forcing calm. They have no idea who they're messing with. The police launched a search, questioning HOA board members who suddenly played dumb. My neighbor, Mrs. Harper, a kind elderly woman, pulled me aside. I saw something odd this morning, she whispered. 2 men in suits took your kids to a black SUV. They drove toward the HOA clubhouse. That was all I needed. We're going there now. I told the police. We stormed the HOA office. Karen Wills, the smug president, sat behind a mahogany desk, dripping with fake charm. Judge Carter, I expected you. She purred, adjusting her pearls. Where are my children? I demanded, slamming the letter down. She feigned innocence. Your illegal tenants have been relocated to a suitable environment until this is resolved. The officers beside me shifted, uneasy. That's kidnapping, I said, voice low. Do you understand what you've done? Karen's smile didn't waver. There at a board-approved interim guardianship facility, my nails bit into my palms. This woman thought she was untouchable. Where are they? I pressed. She laughed lightly. Somewhere safe. Don't make a scene, Judge. I turned to the officers. She's admitting to detaining minors without consent. The lead officer, no stranger to HOA nonsense, straightened. Mrs. Wills, tell us where the kids are, or you're facing felony charges. Her smile faltered. This is a civil matter, she insisted. Shut up. I snapped. I'm a federal judge. This is kidnapping. Her confidence cracked. There at Lakewood Christian Academy, she blurted as cuffs clicked onto her wrists. I didn't wait. I ran. Speed limits, red lights, none of it mattered. Police sirens wailed behind me as I sped to the school. I bolted inside, ignoring the principal's protests, and found room 214. I shoved the door open, and there they were, Alex and Sophie, scared but unharmed, sitting at desks. A woman in a navy suit stood over them. "Who the hell are you?" she snapped, stepping between us. I ignored her, pulling my kids into my arms. "Dad," Sophie sobbed. "It's okay." I whispered, "I'm here." The woman blustered about HOA guardianship, but I cut her off. "You're not the law," I growled. "You're nothing." The police arrested her on the spot for conspiracy and unlawful detainment. I shielded my kids as she screeched about her authority. Back home, the HOA scrambled to cover their tracks, but they were done. I called Elliot, file criminal charges, kidnapping, fraud, conspiracy, racketeering. I want them destroyed. The next morning, I filed a federal lawsuit against the Willow Creek HOA, naming every board member involved. I subpoenaed their financials, emails, and legal fees. What I found was a goldmine: years of embezzlement, fake fines, shell companies funneling money to board members. They weren't just kidnappers, they were thieves. 2 weeks later, the HOA collapsed. Karen got 15 years for kidnapping and conspiracy. The board faced fraud and detainment charges. The HOA was disbanded, illegal fines refunded with damages. I sat on my porch, coffee in hand, watching my kids play, knowing no HOA would ever touch us again. But the fight wasn't over. The fallout was seismic. News crews swarmed. Neighbors whispered. Board members fled. They tried a smear campaign, spreading lies about my abuse of power. It didn't stick. The truth was out. They'd kidnapped kids and defrauded everyone. Then their lawyer, Brent Holloway, sent a pathetic settlement offer, begging to reform the HOA if I dropped the suit. I laughed, forwarded it to Elliot, and froze their accounts. The HOA was bankrupt, their leaders audited by the IRS, their homes foreclosed. I went further. I bought their properties at auction, owning their legacy. Then I held a neighborhood vote. 92% dissolved the HOA for good. The clubhouse became a community center with a pool and basketball court, a symbol of freedom. Karen and her cronies were ruined, jailed, broke, blacklisted. Their empire was dust. But HOA weren't just my problem. They were a national plague. I pushed for legislation, testifying about their corruption. The HOA Accountability Act passed, stripping their unchecked power. I funded the Homeowners Defense Fund, offering free legal aid to fight abusive HOA. I exposed the corporate giants behind them, sparking lawsuits and audits that tanked their empires. The Abolish HOA initiative went viral, millions signed on, neighborhoods dissolved their HOA, and laws made membership voluntary. The final blow, humiliation. HOA became a national joke, mocked on TV, memed online, vilified in documentaries. No one feared them anymore. A year later, a former board member begged for help, ruined and jobless. I deleted her email. As I watched my kids play, free from fear, I knew I'd done more than destroy Willow Creek's HOA. I'd buried them all.